I've been promising you I would show you how we make chocolate milk and hot chocolate from scratch. We use the same powdered mix for both, so it keeps it simple. And then I'm gonna show you how I make it for a crowd using the Instant Pot to keep it warm. So it's a great thing either if you're hosting people or you're going to a potluck. It's a pretty frugal thing to bring or make for a bunch of people. It's a treat, especially if you're like us and your cow gives you gallons of milk a day. Not just yet, thanks, Ray. We're gonna start by making our mix, and all we need, so mine doesn't have powdered milk in it for a few reasons. One, I think powdered milk is kind of weird and really processed. Two, it actually gives me a stomach ache. Anything that has powdered milk in it gives me a stomach ache. One of the things that often has powdered milk in it is breakfast sausages, and they've always given me a stomach ache until I discovered it's the skim milk powder. So, no milk powder in ours, but we make it with milk. So, I get the convenience of wanting one that you can just add hot water, but that just doesn't work for us. But we're gonna start with, I have good salt. I have Himalayan pink salt, but you can use whatever good salt you have. I buy my cocoa powder. I like actually raw cacao powder. Cacao is processed differently than cocoa. It's not just a pretentious way of saying cocoa. And it's a superfood and really available to your body, whereas cocoa powder is basically just flavoring. From Organic Matters, this 5-pound bag is about $25, so it's actually a really good price. And then this is the sugar I buy, and I put it in a big bucket. So, we're gonna put a funnel on the canning jar to make things work a bit better there. And we are going to go, we're gonna alternate here so it's easier to mix. So I'll measure a cup of sugar. You don't have to do it this way. This is just, it will make it easier for mixing for me. I'm gonna do a cup of sugar, and then into that cup of sugar, I'm going to do a tablespoon of salt. And I'm gonna mix these together. Just makes the salt more evenly distributed. Add a cup of cocoa powder, a cup of sugar, and finish it off with a half cup of cocoa powder. This is pretty full. I may have miscalculated this jar size. Then I'm gonna close this up before I knock this over because cocoa is not fun to clean up. Ask me how I know that. Oh yeah, we can do this. Okay, now let it sit a second before we open it so we don't powder. So, you'll see it mostly, let's focus here. There we go. Mostly just like, looks like cocoa with some sugar crystals in it. So, here's the thing. If you tried to just stir this into a cup of cold milk like you would with some Nesquik or whatever, you would be really disappointed. It would not work well. You can, for hot chocolate, you can just heat up milk and whisk it in. Like I just heat it up on a stovetop and then mix it in. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. You can, one, in the bottom of your mug or your cup, mix together a bit of this hot chocolate powder with a little bit of milk into a paste, and then mix in the rest of the milk. Or my favorite way is I mix up a whole dang jar of it, like one of this size jar. I'm using up a bunch of partial jars because the cow doesn't evenly give us a certain amount of jars. There's often a little bit of overflow. So I'll do it in one of these size jars, and I'll use like a stick blender, immersion blender, and that works really well. On the stove, I would just be warming up milk in a pot and just whisk it in. But we're also gonna do it for a crowd. So basically how I'm gonna do it for the crowd is gonna be similar to how I do hot chocolate with the immersion blender. I'm going to make up, I have out some big jars of milk, and I'm gonna make up 2 of these. Just wait a second, thanks.
Take care of it.
Okay, can I do this now, please? So I'm gonna make 2 of these big jars into chocolate milk, and I'm gonna put them in the fridge. And then closer to when people come, I'm just going to heat it up in the Instant Pot on saute, and then turn it to keep warm once it's hot enough. And I'll just do 1 jar in there, and then when it gets low, I'll add the 2nd jar, turn it on saute, heat it up, leave it keep warm. Ooh, thanks, Freya. And leave a ladle in there for people to scoop it with. So as you can see, I had to dump some out before I can do it, otherwise your milk will overflow and that will be no fun. No fun. This foam's gonna go down and I'll pour the rest of the milk into it, and I'm gonna make the 2nd gallon into chocolate milk right now. So now that the milk is warming up, it's all mixed in nicely. This is when we just dip our finger in and it's perfect.
You had so many big jars, right? Let's go get it.
Oh, you're helping yourself, are you?